And finally, today, we will start with Buddhist poems, which Jan posted 3-4 weeks ago. Please, Jan, while I will arrange and share the presentation, can you tell us just a couple of sentences, what did you like about it? What was the meaning you posted it? And if even no meaning and you just wanted to share with us, it's absolutely wonderful. But two sentences, 2-3 sentences, what is caught your attention? Okay, I started my presentation. Do you see the presentation, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, if you don't feel that you want to share with us, it's completely fine. I can tell my opinion. What can you say? Would you like to say a couple words about your poems? Not your poems, Buddhist poems which you shared with us.
Sorry, I just left to turn off the cooker on the stove. Sorry, I just missed what you said.
Do you remember 3-4 weeks ago you posted the Buddhist poems on
yes.
our chat? And since that, it caught my attention, but because it's a lot to say, I couldn't post it under our chat. And I want to discuss them today. Of course, very briefly, we cannot spend a lot of time. So what caught your attention?
Caught my attention. Yes, just like what I said before, and I want to learn the wisdom from all the religions and philosophy, which is principle-centered. So this is the one just came. I just this is how can I say? Is this I knew these poems for a long time, but I couldn't understand the real meaning of this. But after join this group, and I started to think hard. So I think I figure out what it really means. So I just want to share it with the group, and that's what I want.
Thank you so much. Welcome to the group because it's I hope and I think, but it's actually not necessary. Everybody's doing, but personally me, I'm searching through many religions for not for the truth, for the meaning. And whatever I will feel that this is my religion, this is what I believe, what is satisfying me, I will stop. But so far I'm searching. If you remember, guys, like a month ago, I shared with you the Hindu belief about reincarnation. So it's not necessarily my belief. It's a different point of view. And this is Buddhist poems, and they are incredibly interesting. And we will see how they connect. You won't believe, but they will be connecting to what we are learning. They connect to Mr. Covey 7 habits. Because if you remember at the very beginning meeting, I was saying from his book that he said that I'm presenting you universal laws. And those universal laws, these universal laws, they do not belong any one particular religion, but they belong to the major religions. And then we talk many times that all major religions are the same. It's just a different vehicle, it's a different method, which anyway lead us to God. Okay, let's dig into Buddhist poems. So, first monk, there was two monks who wrote this poem. The first, he wrote, "My body's like a Buddha tree." Let me describe right away that we wouldn't spend time. So what does mean Buddha tree? It's a Buddha, and he got his enlightenment under this tree. And in their tradition in Buddhism, Buddha tree considered a sacred tree. My heart seems a mirror to be. Do you know, people who strive to enlighten, who are on a higher intellectual, not intelligence. Intelligence, it's who are professional. Intellectual level, they see everything else the same. They saying, ancient wisdom is saying, if I'm talking to somebody else, I see a mirror of myself. And we discussed it before. Do you remember? We discussed it not from this poem, guys. We discussed it from Mr. Covey book. See, it's already almost everything, every major point are interconnected. So I always keep them fit and clean. So what does it mean? We just last time we were talking about that about our emotional bank account. That if we don't put all the time, it becomes withdrawn. We cannot just say 10 years ago, I love you, and spread it for the whole decade, right? We need to always put it. This is what he's saying. I'd always keep them fit and clean. Take care not to let dust under them creep. And what is dust? They considered it's greediness, hatred, enviness, material contamination. Not material is not bad, but when it's overindulged, it's become like that. And this poem considered a statement, a state of human being before enlightenment. However, and it was considered very like a statement for Buddhism. However, another monk, and he considered was a little bit younger, but very interesting, he wrote another poem, and the another poem even greater. He wrote, no such thing as the Buddha tree. Opa, not a mirror stand that can be. There is nothing in the first place. Whereon can the dust and dirt creep? Where? So what does it mean? If somebody knows, you can answer, but do not, I don't ask, I don't think, because it needs to study, guys. It's so different religion. Would you like, I will just quickly say, right? So another monk actually was much higher, because this is the state of after enlightenment. And after enlightenment, he's saying that there is no Buddha tree, that there is no mirror, there is nothing in the first place. What does mean enlightenment? Who knows what does mean enlightenment?
And enlightenment is like an epiphany, you know, like you just come to a realization.
Yes, yes, Sham, absolutely right. Through intensive meditation and devotion, you reach enlightenment, and with that enlightenment, how the universe operates is open to you, and the wisdom you can talk already not from the wisdom of humans, you can talk from the wisdom of some higher beings. For example, Buddha, he's a great example. He got enlightenment under the Buddha tree. And so you know his wisdom is absolutely wonderful. And we talk already about it, that God's so huge, so omnipotent, so powerful that God cannot come to us. He is sending avatars, all of that, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, Jesus, they are avatar of God, and they are coming to a different place of the universe to set up a religion. And they, for example, Buddha came mainly to atheists. They do not concern with God. they all, Buddhism is striving for enlightenment, and you probably heard nirvana, right? So they are meditating a lot, and they are reaching nirvana. And we were talking also about meditation, and Patrick was telling us that we are circling the same 3-4 thoughts during the day. And guys, 80% of our life we're spending like that. What a wasting, huh? Just try. I would really want to influence you to meditate. If you would like, we can set up a separate meeting and just discuss meditation and share our opinions. It's incredible. I'm doing that, and I did that, and I absolutely love it. So maybe we will someday get enlightenment, right? Why not? So, and this I really want to share. We are going to the most interesting part of that. What do you think? We are talking about God. All religions talk about God. What God is? I will ask you, Brian, in a moment. What do you think God is? Patrick?
I don't think we know, right? I mean, we have a concept, we have an idea, but that's all that is, right? I mean,
Right.
I think it ties back to what, Sean's, notion of superstition and faith, right? The idea of faith is like, yeah, we acknowledge there is something bigger than us, right? The humility, right? We have that, in order to acknowledge that, we have to have that humility to say, yeah, I'm just like this tiny grain of sand, this whole big universe. There's somebody out there that's probably like the big boss, right? We don't know who it is. We just speculate who it is, but we don't know.
Okay.
That's my opinion anyway.
Accept. Brian?
Talk to Violetta first. She had something to say.
You were first there, Violetta.
I think God is everything, and we are part of the God.
Beautiful answer. Brian?
Well, actually, I agree with Violetta, actually. I was thinking something very much the same, that I've been thinking about that for a while, that really, it's kind of almost, I don't know, almost bordering on a natural spiritualism or whatever, but I still feel like I'm sort of learning a lot about that, and I really don't have a clear answer, but it seems like in a way we're all, that we're sort of a part of the universe. What I wanted to mention though is on your comment on meditating, I found a really nice app that's called Healthy Minds. And it's free, and I found it to be a really nice app to teach you meditation. I wanted to just mention that. It's free.
Thank you.
It's a very nice, they do a very nice program. There's like, I don't know, there's at least, there's a lot of like discussion and stuff like that. So I'll post it to the chat, but I just wanted to mention it, that it's a very nice, it's a very nice program, very nice app. Anyhow, just wanted to mention that.
Thank you. And if you mention that, let me just one thought come into my mind. I don't want to forget it. What also benefit of meditation, that we are become less worry. Because what do you think about this proverb? It struck me, guys. When we worry, we think we are responsible. Can you imagine? It's exactly that. So, and when we realize it, maybe we will stop to be worried, at least a little bit. So, okay, let's come back to what is God. While I agree with all of them, all of you, what you said, we are part of. But our question was not who part of. The question was who is God. But I've heard your answers, and again, I like them. Let me answer to you from the point of view of enlightened people, because we're pretty familiar with Christianity, right? We even talk a little bit about Hindu. Let's listen and extend our knowledge from the enlightened people. Guys, God is pure consciousness. What think about it a little bit. God is pure consciousness. And what is consciousness? Now think about your conscious. Conscious is a progress, not progress, a process. This is why God cannot, God doesn't have any body, right? Definitely no clothes, no form. What form our conscious? We have no idea. We know mind, our brain, but brain is not our conscious. Conscious, it's a process of our brain. So, and now I completely agree with all of you when you were saying that we are apart. So, but we are apart not as a body. We are part of consciousness. And what more, what they are saying that we are coming here with a complete program, who we are, what we like, what we will do, really when we will be born and when we will die. And now you can ask, why, stop it, where is our free will? Do you know where is our free will? Our free will are our wishes. God created us and he gave us the direction. How to know if you are going to the right direction? Ask yourself what you want to do. And in fact, they're saying we always do what we want. Because if we don't want, there is no energy, we don't do it. And we talk already about it. Do you remember I said guys can say, oh, for example, I need to provide my family, I'm working in the work which I don't like. You are working at the work what you don't want, don't like, but you like to be a responsible provider of your family, and this is a little bit higher than you choose a job. Let's make, Patrick, I see, can you wait just for a minute? I want to finish. Let's make an experience. For example, we will check our like and our don't like. Can you raise a hand who wants ice cream right now? What free ice cream? For example, door will open and you will have ice cream. Who raise the hand? Who wants ice cream right now? Okay, great. Sean, can you stop wanting? Stop. Start to meditate. I don't want ice cream. I don't want ice cream. Can you stop?
Yes.
What it will be? It will be inside of you, or it would be your mind work and you're pushing yourself.
In your mind.
Right. Violeta, what is about you? Can you stop wanting ice cream?
I don't think so.
It's impossible. It's for example, a guy who like tall brunette woman. Can that guy start to like short blondie women? Impossible. So what I want to say, it was in us. And what we are doing, Sean, did you, with Violeta, did you think about, let me think, do I want ice cream right now or not? You just grab what you wanted, right? Not what you wanted, what it was already in your mind. So this is mean we come here with everything, even what we like. So, and you know, another question, guys, what's the meaning? So we know the meaning of our life. It's grow, it's take care of our families, right? Go to school. No, what we can create whatever we want, right? We are, Violeta said, and I support her opinion. She said, we are a part of God, right? We made in his image. So it means we are the same. Oh, a little bit less, right? Not a little bit, a lot, but okay. So now question, what's the meaning of life, God's life?
Are you asking the meaning of our life in terms of God, or are we
No,
speculating what
yes,
is
sorry.
God's life
I'm
or
asking
God's
the
purpose?
meaning of God's life, God's
Okay.
purpose. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's a very deep philosophical question. I think Jan needs to chime in on this one here. But so in my opinion, right? I mean, because the idea that God is, tying back to what you say, that God is, I don't want to use gender, God is pure consciousness. So therefore, from the Christian tradition, as well as many other tradition, is all powerful, all knowing, right? And everywhere, right? So from that perspective, God, in my opinion, it basically serve as a protector, right, of all things as we know it, right, a provider of all things as we know it, and also a partner as all we think we know it, right? Because in Christian tradition, we pray because we're in deep trouble, that we need guidance, we need help, or we praise because we have gotten the coaching that we needed, and we actually obeyed that coaching, and it worked out the way that we want it, in His glory, in the glory of God. I think that's, in my opinion, that is the purpose of God, right? Who knows? I don't know. I mean, that's just an opinion.
Beautiful. I completely accept your opinion, and you were right when you mentioned that it's from Christianity point of view, right? Let's continue, because I was introducing you opinion of enlightened people, right? Do you know what they're saying? That the purpose of God is pure creation and joy. And what you said, it's right, do you know? But it's going like sub. The main, yes, the main, guys, pure creation and joy. And if we are part of God, we are here for creation and joy. So stop making dramas from everything around. My God, even drama, do you know, even what is psychological problem? If we will start to treat as a physical problem, it's absolutely the same. We are very good with physical problems, right? We know if we scratch our finger, what we are doing? We just put ointment, right? Some special thing that to heal it, or we put Band-Aid. Right, we don't call to our friends and, oh, do you know, I hurt my finger, and the friends, oh, poor Lina, I understand you. Or if we are hungry, what we are doing? We are going and we are eating, right? We don't complain to our friends, oh, can you imagine, I'm hungry, poor Lina, you're hungry. It's ridiculous. But what we are doing bad with the psychological problems. If somebody offend me, what we are doing, we are calling to friends and complaining. And then, oh, poor Lina. And we accept it as a normal. No, guys, psychological problems, emotional issues are given us to us, not that we would complain and stuck in it. It's giving absolutely the same way. Hey, it's a problem. Solve it. So instead of complain and stuck in it, what is depressed people doing? What is anxiety people doing? They just stuck in a problem, but that problem just asking for solution, please solve me, but people stuck in it. Okay, and the last thing to connect to enlightened people, so they're saying about free will, and it's our wishes. Whatever we want, the amount of effort will be valued. Whatever we want, if we put a lot of effort, it will happen. See, every creation come to people. For example, Mendeleev, it's a chemical in the chemistry. He created his system. He created a dream. All composers, they created their composers in a dream or while they were meditating on it very hard. So they put a lot of effort. They put their lives there. So everything we can do, just we need to put effort. This is our meaning of life from enlightened point. And you can ask me, I can talk endlessly about it. I need to stop. Whatever I didn't say, I will say later. And now you can ask me, what aside Mr. Covey has to do with this, right? And guys, in fact, a lot. Let me introduce you very briefly, I will promise, 6 levels of enlightenment. Is it familiar to you? Do you remember we were talking about 3 levels of human maturity? Who will remind us what they are? Who can say? Who remember 3 levels of
Well,
human maturity? Yes,
I mean,
Patrick,
it's
please.
dependent, independent, and interdependent, right? Or relationship driven.
Perfect, perfect, yes. And let's go ahead. So first level of enlightenment, it's life happens to you. It's when you feel yourself a victim, when you think that you are not capable of doing anything because life is just happening to you. Don't you think that it's a first level which Mr. Covey described to us? This is dependent level, or in spiritual world, ignorant level. Life happens by you. This is already people become to be responsible. They are saying, I can do it. I can manage it. I am responsible. I don't blame anybody. So, and I want to remind you right now, we are going through enlightenment, but this is what Mr. Covey was talking about. He's absolutely right. This is universal laws which we are studying. And in the spiritual world, it's a passion level. And they are saying that it's where we actually all, where we belong. We are all practically in passion level. Of course, something, one hand probably sometimes can happen to dependent level, but mostly with our body, we are in a passion level, in this level. Life happens in you. Guys, here we are. Thank you, Mr. Covey. Inside out approach, right? So life happened in you. So what does it mean? We talk about it, 3 habits. I don't need to repeat. I just want to add something that successful people are not those people who don't have problems. Even successful people have problems. It's successful people who can handle and how they solve those problems. We think that if we will be intelligent, intellectual, we will finish 7 habits, we won't have any problems. Problems will disappear. No, problems will be still there. We just will be able to solve them effectively. We will have the tools how to solve them. And the enlightened people say about that as well. So congratulations, this is the side of Mr. Covey. So we studied we are studying the 3 first level of enlightenment, but this is written 6 levels. Let's see what's happened beyond Mr. Covey. Life happens for you. And these guys, this is complete trust. Trust to life that whatever is happening, this is for you. Doesn't matter what happened. When it's happening, it happens for you. Number 5, life happens through you. And that even higher level that you already don't think yourself as yourself. You are melting and you dissolving and everything. They are claiming, do you remember what they say? My heart seems a mirror to be. So we are already at this level, possibly, if somebody will reach that, and I hope that we become one. We become understand that everything around us, it's we are. And how we are, all those enlightened people, they are treating alcoholic and the president and even animals, they are treating the same, because they are see that we are all part of it. And the sixth life is you. These guys I cannot explain. It's already beyond my understanding. But practically what I said, that we are one. Brian, please.
What do you mean by life happens for you? I'm a little,
Absolutely. It means whatever is happening in our life, it's for our best.
oh, I see.
So it
Oh.
means some lesson was given to us, and we need to go through that lesson. And they are also saying that every single person here, not here, in the earth, they are in the ideal place for them. For example, I am where I am. It's my ideal place, and from here I can learn and take my lessons. Where you are, Brian, even it's cold there, and you can be upset about coldness, but it's the best. You're the best place where you're supposed to be. And of course, it doesn't mean that we need to stuck in our place and okay, this is my place. No, we need to accept where we are and then grow. Because until we don't accept where we are, we won't be able to grow, because we denied where we are. We don't have a base, we don't have a foundation. As soon as we accept where we are, doesn't matter where we are, then we can grow.
That's pretty proactive, to use something of Stephen Covey's first habit there. That's
It's
pretty
not me.
proactive.
It's not me, it's Jan. And you remember I wanted to discuss about it all the time, but I was waiting for Jan, and I hope he enjoyed. Okay, guys, let's move ahead. If you don't have any questions, I cannot wait to discuss our conversation. And I will try to speak fast, because you already know, just to refresh your mind. Conversation amazing. I had my situation when I couldn't participate because, but I cannot miss that. I love it, everything what you're saying. Thank you so much. So Leo Tolstoy, it's amazing how complete the delusion that beauty is goodness. And Patrick said, I thought goodness is beauty, right? Richard said, it is, but the reverse is not always true. Guys, and what I like, he said, not always. So he left a gap, and this is very important. And then he said, beauty is only external. And this year, I want to put my input into the conversation. So he's saying that the beauty is only external, and actually, I believe that Leo Tolstoy meant that too. So what is that? Let's we know beautiful women. Can't we say that beautiful women is beauty, right? Can't we, in external beauty, can't we say that beautiful women are pure goodness? Guys,
Well, I mean, yes and no, being the lawyer in me. No, I'm
exactly.
kidding.
Exactly. What I have to say, that
Because I don't want to
sometimes
get in trouble with my wife, you know? So
it's difficult to say to you, for you, because you're a guy. Let me say, because I'm a woman. Guys, sometimes women, beautiful women, are pure badness. I'm sorry, but it's completely possible. So we cannot say parallel beautiful woman, pure goodness, right? And this is what Leo Tolstoy and Richard wanted to say. However, let me continue that do you know that we all strive for beauty? It's how God create us. We cannot help. We cannot help, but we are linking to that, and we need to understand that. For example, if we'll take nature, animals, they are pure goodness, they are pure beauty, but they don't have our human ability to mess up everything, right? Also, very important, know that beauty is healthy. Actually, it's very surprising, but that I studied on my psychological classes. For example, big eyes. First, it's better visibility. Doctor can see diseases better, more clear. And when you talk, you can even see a person, because eyes is a mirror of our heart. So you can see more better. White hip bone for women. It's easy childbirth. So before, man was choosing women with bigger hips because she can give a healthy childbirth to many children. Long legs, it's beautiful, but do you know why? To run quickly out of animals, out of tiger, right? Thin waist. This is a sign of healthiness. Do you know about it? It's not only beauty, it's also healthy. Do you know that keep your waist to less than half your height? Do you know about that? You can check yourself how healthy you are. So again, I will repeat, keep your waist to less than half your height. Just measure your waist, measure your height, and see. If you below, you are great. If you equal, you are under age already. And do you know what I can tell you, that before I'm still good, but before I was better. And who is keeping me out of to keep my waist thinner? My laziness, of course. Did I exercise how much I was exercising in my younger age? Of course not. I'm doing something, but not that much. So, and my waist, of course, will naturally grow, and I will be less healthy. So make yourself, check yourself, guys, and keep that. Keep your waist to less than half your heights. And the last thing about beauty, Richard said beauty is only external. But guys, there is also internal beauty. And with this, we can say that internal beauty is pure goodness. There is no such a thing that it can be pure badness. Internal beauty is pure goodness. So beautiful, beautiful conversation. Next, Richard is proposing. Do you want to add anything? But you had conversation. Let's move ahead. Richard said and proposed a wonderful topic: difference between faith and superstition. I remember Jan said he still is contemplating on it. So I support and like Sean answer. Superstition is trusting in magic or chance. Beautiful. Faith is trust in confidence in something. Wonderful. I absolutely like it. Very deep, good answer. Patrick said, faith is believing with no evidence. Wonderful. While superstition is believing with false evidence. And here, let me add what I think. And this is, Patrick, while I agree with you partially, I want just to add something. And this is a little bit probably with who knows that, who came from a different country. Let me explain why I'm saying that. What is America? America is 500 years old, baby. Why I'm saying baby? If compare different nationalities, different nation, Mexican, Russian, European, thousands and thousands of years. Do you think what people are doing? They did nothing? No, they were looking, they were accumulating new wisdom, and it's called a folk science, or natural wisdom, or human wisdom, whatever how you want to call it. And because we all came some day, some year, or our parents, ancestors came here, right? And because this is a big part, we lost it. And when I came here 15 years ago, I was surprised. You know, it was for me a big difference that people do not have those signs, which actually just help to live. And everything is superstition. And I think, no, not everything is superstition. Let's play a little bit game. And then, I will show you something on the screen, and I will ask, do you think is it superstition or it's a folk science or human wisdom? So human wisdom, let's do this, right? Superstition, let's do this. So it will be a little game for us. Red evening dawn to the wind, and this will be the collection of nature, superstition or wisdom. What do you think? Is it superstition or superstition? Okay, no, guys, this is not a superstition. This is nature wisdom, and you can check it. I cannot explain it much, and I don't want to spend time. I could, but I want to move ahead. So whatever it's red evening dawn, it will be windy. Next day, or in one day, for sure, some chemical reaction is going into the nature. Swallows fly low to the rain. Is it wisdom, human wisdom, or superstition? Very good, Sean. It's not a superstition. It's human wisdom, and don't know why. I can explain it. Because swallows, they do not fly low and say, hey, humans, the rain very soon will be starting. They don't care about us. They are just hunting for insects. And when it's rain, the insect is flying much lower, and they are catching them. And so that folk sign I knew when I was 5 years old, and I could predict when the rain will be, because animals are more sensitive than we are. And it's unfair. Why only Sean is participating? Guys, there is no right or wrong answer. Don't afraid, please. Pigeon coin, except good weather. Guys, it's also wisdom, of course. They're very sensitive. They don't want to make love when it would be bad weather. They know where is good weather. I can tell you, if even we will start to concentrate, we will start to feel. We are concentrating on what? On work, on taxes, on food. We don't have time. The cat crawls up in a ball and covers its nose with its paw to frost. No, I guess you can guess. Yes, if animals, of course. This will go to humans, and it's a little bit more complicated. Be careful. Your ear is burning. Someone is talking about you. Superstition. Okay, guys. This is doubtable. Do you remember in the Bible, who will tell me how long people lived before Noah? How long?
Old, hundreds of years.
1,000 years. Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, there's a story of Methuselah in the Bible, who almost lived 1,000 years. So the longest living man in Bible history didn't quite make it to 1,000.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely right. And see, guys, Bible is written in Christianity, right? And they just quote a little bit of part before Noah. But if take Vedas, which I partially study as well, they described much bigger period, and they described it, and Bible didn't describe why those people before Noah, they were living 1,000 years, and they started to live 800, 700, 400 until they come to our period. But Veda explained everything. Right now we are living in Kali Yuga, and we are living 100 years. Before it was Satya Yuga, and they were all people were living 1,000 years. And now imagine right now you are living 1,000 years. I don't want to go into details. Stop me, otherwise I won't stop. It's very interesting to me to compare. Can you imagine if we are living 1,000 years? Can you imagine if you concentrate on something? Brian, can you imagine what high you will reach in your mathematics if you will study instead of 30 years or 20 years, you will study 300 years? You will be a magician in mathematics, right? Or for example, if somebody is doing spirituality, interested in some magic power, and you have the ability to practice 500 years, can you imagine how you will be? So, and this, how I mentioned, this is not just from Christianity, this is science, folk science of thousands and thousands of years. So do you know, and also on spiritual level, it's considered whatever we think about anybody, we connect in a spiritual world immediately. So guys, it's completely possible. But let me don't claim this is the right. No, this is because I said under the, I cannot prove it, but this is possible. Talk in advance about your plans to their failure. What is that? Superstition or wisdom? Good. Okay, superstition. So let me, Richard, do you keep your hand there? You want to say something?
Oh, no, that was from before.
Okay, so let me protect this again, and I will protect from the actual psychological point of view. This is not already from wisdom. It's of course going from wisdom, but even psychology supported. Do you know what was happen if, for example, you in advance, talk in advance. So it means if I have a wish, I want to do something, I made plans, but do you know, I'm not too strong. I'm still doubt, and I'm running to my friend and telling to my friend, hey, do you know, I want to do this. And of course, I'm looking for support because I'm not sure in it. And my friend can say, hey, this is bullshit. This doesn't worth it. And do you know, I can stop it. So this what mean that be sure in yourself completely until you know that nothing, if even 1,000 people will stop against you and say this doesn't work, you will say I don't want to listen. I'm sure in it. So make this wisdom as your rule, and you will win. At sunset, money does not count. Can you imagine somebody come to me and they give me money? I tell them, no, I don't count money at sunset. They will say, are you okay, Patrick?
No, I was trying to comment on the talk in advance. It actually ties to imagination and visualization. That's the,
Right.
so that's why,
Right.
I think
Right.
it worked. But in terms of the sunset, I've never heard of this. So I'm going to say superstition.
Guys, this is what I'm talking about. You know, when I come to here to America, I was surprised. Everything was superstition. This we can partially think that it's superstition. Do you know, I can say only in protection this thing. While sunset, while we are under influence of moon, and when sun is setting down, so under the moon is giving us relaxation, moon is giving us calmness, and our mental ability is not that strong while the sun is on. So whatever you are doing, the most important task, it should be done before 6. You are working at your highest mental capacity. After 6, of course, we are working because we have to, but our mental capacity is less. So now you think, what is that, superstition, or this is human wisdom? Oh no, this is fantastic. Vita is Violeta, you're very familiar with that. Maybe you've heard, I hope. Shatter the mirror to your unfortune. Did you hear about it? It's kind of
7 years of
universal.
bad luck. Is that what you mean?
Yes. So what is that, guys?
That's just a superstition.
Okay.
No, it's
No.
fact. It's wisdom.
Okay.
I was taught the reason why that was bad luck is because back in the day, even if you were royalty, it took a lot of time to make a mirror. and it was probably very, very expensive. That's why it was
Oh.
bad luck to do that.
Beautiful. So guys, here finally, the first time I can join you that it's become a superstition. Sean said a beautiful point. He even said more than I know. Thank you, Sean. And I will add that, do you know, before what was happened, that the mirror was covered instead of amalgam with a layer of mercury, with a little protection. And when the mirror broke, mercury what? Mercury evaporates. And what the consequences, right? From illness till death. So, and what Sean added, so before it was a wisdom, and right now it's a superstition, because right now it's a completely different story. Don't show your newborn child to anyone for the first 40 days. Okay. Now you are thinking. Good,
I
good,
want
good,
to
good.
say first I would have said it's superstitious. However, if it came out in the Middle Ages, it would tie into now because maybe germs, maybe your baby's too susceptible to germs in the first 40 days. Because I was always taught when I was young, don't touch a baby, unless it's offered to you. But even then, if somebody offers me, hey, would you like to hold my baby? I'm always like, no. And if I do, I would wash my hands first.
Very
That's
smart.
Maybe it's, yeah.
Very smart. Thank you, Sean. You answered the question. Yes, newborn baby, guys, they have very sensitive nervous system, plus no immune system. I was surprised to study that. I thought that newborn babies, infants, they are full of strong immune system. None, because they came from the ideal environment inside of mother womb. They don't, and mother protect them. When they appear, they have none. While mother is giving in breast milk, that is, they are building immune system. So, because this is pure wisdom. And now we come to the zest of all of it. Are you ready? Black famous cat ran across the road to your unfortunate. What is that?
Superstitious.
Any history behind?
It's a
So,
superstition.
cat, go ahead.
It's a superstition. No, I was just
Okay.
answering.
Okay, I would agree with you. However, a little interesting history behind, and you can see that for some people, long time ago, maybe it wasn't a superstition. Cats do not walk on the streets, right? Usually they are at home, and if they lost, it's something happened, and especially during pandemics, when millions of people were dying and cats were running on the street, if you see, it's probably something wrong with the owners. Maybe they're sick, or maybe they're even died. So this is this story. Are you ready? Do you know that accidentally spilled salt to quarrels? We all know that in Russia. Well, this is so your opinion. Okay, but
I think that's another I think that's a superstition. But I have heard since you got my mind thinking for a second, because you're from Russia, right? Or at least Eastern
Yes.
European for sure. I worked in Sunny Isles for a long time, and I didn't know this. I worked with a handful of Russians, and this one woman in particular told me about when you hand someone a knife. So when it comes, like if they ask you for a steak knife, you never hand them a knife. You're supposed to put the knife down on the ground, or not right next to them, because it means you're going to quarrel with them. Something about money too. They don't put the money in your hand. It's like they put it down and you pick it up, which was an interesting superstition, because I've never heard those gestures up until I worked in Sunny Isles. Those two particular ones, I never heard that.
Yes, we have. Thank you, Sean, for sharing. We have millions of them. So Patrick thinks that this is not a superstition. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, going back to ancient times, salt is very important, right? In fact, people were paid in salt back in the old days. So therefore, salt is like money. So you spill salt, right? Especially someone else's salt, right? Obviously, that's you're asking for it. No, you're basically asking for trouble.
Yes, 100% answer. Thank you so much. But right now, because salt is not more that expensive, it's already become a superstition. And the last one, I know somebody is doing that. Knock against the evil eye on wood, or another knock on wood for good luck. This is, guys, universal. This is the Egyptian belief in magical power of trees. Ancient Britons considered oak a sacred tree. In Vedic culture, oak is a symbol of the genius. In Christianity, the clergy, what they did, they associated this tire with the power of the cross on which Christ was crucified. And it became a tradition, knock on the wood 3 times. For whom? Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. However, guys, be careful. Do not knock on the tree of aspen on which Judas hanged himself, because you will knock for problems. So take care of which wood you are knocking. And of course, if you are knocking on the covered or polished wood, it's also not important and doesn't open to spirituality. But of course, my personal opinion, it becomes a superstition. It doesn't bring us anything. So, and let's come back. We discussed that already. So this we were discussing, Patrick, that superstition is believing with false evidence. Not everything, Patrick, right? Jan said, if evil people suffer, should we suffer too? I want to answer right away. No, guys, we don't need to suffer. We even don't need to suffer if good people suffer. This is to distinguish. We don't have to suffer. It's like if my close person is sick, I would come to him and say to her, "Oh, let me be a little bit sick too. Maybe you will feel better." Does that person need it? No. We need to emphasize, to say sympathy. We need to take care of those people. We need to raise actually their mood and their attitude. We need to help them, but not to suffer. So we no way need to suffer from any person in this world, not especially to evil people. So, and if evil people are happy, we will suffer. Probably this, I would agree, because unfortunately, what is evil? Evil, it's limitless of goodness, right? So it's practically not goodness at all, and they're full of evil. And we are sharing what? We are sharing what we have. We cannot share a bread if we don't have a bread, right? So, and if they are full of bad habits and they are limited with goodness, they are sharing what they have. Yes, Brian, please.
I wonder if Jan would be comfortable enough trying to explain what he meant in this statement.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I'm kind of wondering if he means quite what you seem to think he means.
Absolutely, absolutely. We cannot think for somebody else, and this is we are to value and listen and enrich ourselves from all opinion. So, Jan, if you are comfortable and if you want to, would you like to fulfill Brian's requests?
I asked this question is because in the post posted by Patrick, and the third one, I think is talking about, okay, we should, because we are part of God, and we are members of God. So if other people suffer, we should suffer too. If we don't, we are not human. Yes, just something like this. Not exactly, but yeah, I think
Okay,
I-
thank you.
I-
Thank you, Jan.
So and but my question is, evil people also human being, right? And if they suffer, should we suffer? I think should we? Okay, of course not physically. I mean, if evil
Mhm.
people suffer physically, probably because of human humanity. So we believe humanity, we will help them. But if the suffer is because their evil desire cannot be certified. So I think we should be happy, right? If evil people's desire are certified and they're happy, and we will suffer, right? This makes sense, right? So this
Yes,
is my statement. Yeah, that's what
thank
I
you,
mean.
Jan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jan. So I make my opinion that I correctly understood what you wrote, and I don't want to repeat, but what I answered, this is my understanding. Guys, we need to be centered in ourselves. We don't need to depend from neither evil people nor from good people. We are centered in ourselves. This is what Mr. Covey is teaching us. We don't need, if evil people will be happy, then I need to suffer. Or evil people are unhappy, suffer, we need to be suffer. No, see, it's like a swing. We depend from some people and we are following what they want, or we are going to opposite. No, what is our center of life? God. We need to orient on God and not on evil or good people. And again, how can we help, for example, if somebody, how I mentioned, somebody is sick, doesn't matter, evil people or good people. Let me sick be a little bit with him. Will I be helpful? No, it's not helpful. I need to support him. I need to help him. I need to take care of him. This is my help, right? Not to be sick with him. It's the same, like suffer and I will be suffer a little bit. No, guys, absolutely not. No, this is my personal opinion. Anybody wants to add something? Okay, let's move ahead. Richard said, is evil a judgment left only to God? And I can join to people who answered that not. Guys, absolutely, if we will close eyes and leave judgment to God, here will be a big mess. And this is a big, actually, issue, what I want to point, we are studying a lot. We are studying humility, right? We are studying acceptance. We are studying kindness. And not only here, you're studying by yourself. You are studying spirituality. And you know what it's happening. Okay, let me accept everything and do whatever you want with me and whatever everyone wants with me. Because I'm humble, I'm nice. Do remember that I was talking about Buddha, how Buddha didn't react. Okay, I will react like Buddha. I won't react on anything. Guys, this is a big difference. We need to understand the difference between spirituality and our material world. So what is that spirituality talking about? It's talking about internally. Mr. Covey, probably he's talking every single page inside out. So all his principle, it's for our inside. We need to accept, for example, God did something to not to us, something happened. We need to accept it internally, but we need to act externally. So why is this for? For example, something happened. Let me accept it. And can you imagine when I accept it, I will have cool mind. I will have a mind when I can think clearly and operate nicely. But it doesn't mean if I accept something to happen to me, I will sit and think, okay, I learned that I need to accept and sit and do nothing. It's a big, big mistake. So everything what we are learning, we need to accept it inside. Do not fight inside, but externally, we need to fight. If somebody will come to my home to take something, do you know, I will take my gun and I will kill him. I will do, but I will kill him not with some agitation, with coolness in my heart. Because what I'm doing, I'm protecting my home. And the guys are doing. If you need some, you are going with your family, and somebody is attacking you, and will you protect your family? Of course, you will. Don't think that I need to accept. God sent to me this lesson. I guess I need to let them do whatever they want. No way. And in everything, this is actually a big difference in many religion, and the Veda is teaching exactly that. Act, accept it, be cool, be quiet, be clear-minded, but act. And about our Christianity, actually don't know what's the problem with misunderstanding. Actually, Christ was proposing all that what he was teaching to his disciples. It's the disciples who left everything and who is following him, and they don't have anything to lose. Of course, they can, if somebody knock them in one cheek, they can offer another cheek. It's not for us, it's for disciples. It's for the highest, not highest, at the higher level. Well, Patrick, please.
First and foremost, I agree with everything you say, but I will even take it one step further. But I'm going to basically not so much make a differentiation between, Christian beliefs and church belief, right? So the idea of Christian belief, as and I practice, is being patient, having patience, kindness, and humility. And you're right, it is internal, right? And also the other aspect of it is not only protecting yourself, but also protecting the evil doer from the act, right? Is basically to be proactive, to say, hey, you're about to get in trouble. You sure you want to do that, right? That is protection, right? Or in our modern day language, is a warning, right? Hey, you're about to get messed up, so step back, right? So that is the
Absolutely.
same thing, right? And the other aspect of turning the other cheek and things like that, right? And I agree with you. There's a gross misunderstanding what Christianity is, right? Those practice, right, are tough. It means that it's meant to toughen you internally, so that you could deal with the things externally, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, and on top of that, it's the idea that people. I don't know whether it's American culture, or whatever. People kind of mix like Christianity and church. They're not the same, right? A lot of people think they are, but they're not. Mainly because the idea of Christianity, the practice is substantially pure, where the church is basically for folks that wants to, control other, whatever the case may be. I don't want to get into it, mainly because
Right.
we don't have enough time. But my point is, the internal practice, right, manifests itself outwardly as a protector. Not only are you protecting yourself, but you're also protecting the evil doer, right? So
Absolutely.
in that phrase, in terms of like, should we suffer too? I agree, right? We should not suffer. We should protect them to say, hey, let me help you get you out of your jam, because you shouldn't be in this jam to begin with. This is the right path, right? If evil people are happy, we will suffer. Yeah, but potentially, right? We will suffer, but only at that moment, right? You think of Viktor Frankl, right? Who basically suffered years and years and years, right? Yeah, and that is an example of your internal compass is substantially stronger than any external if you choose to basically manifest it externally. But that's my opinion.
Beautiful, beautiful, Patrick. I totally agree with everything what you said. And again, if we will be the stronger we are with our internal, with our centers, with our principles, we even don't need to suffer when evil people are happy. Why do we need to suffer? It's our choice. Everything. Do you remember Roosevelt, Eleanor Roosevelt? She said, "It's our choice. Nobody can hurt us as soon as we allow them to do that." So we even don't need to suffer, but this is why we are practicing to be strong. And again, how I say, if somebody will start to, if I will meet evil person and he will be torturing me and be happy, I will knock into his head. To know what, and I don't need to suffer at all. Richard, please.
Okay, great conversation. One other distinction to make here is when it comes to the word evil, it's pretty negative. But we can also say that what the person or what some individual did was evil, or we can say because of what that person did, that person is evil. So when we make this determination, are we talking about the actions or are we talking about the person? And I think when we talk about the person, that's a little bit more judgmental, that we cannot see into the person's spirit. And so that kind of judgment, I believe, is left to God instead.
Okay, I'm trying to understand you. You know what I would say? Let's decide on the spot. For example, if it's a physical action, then we need to act. If it's internal action, how you mentioned that yes, we don't need to do anything. And again, this is how we were talking. We don't need even to suffer. It's our choice. But at the end, left judgment to God. Is it
Yes, of
correct,
course.
Richard?
No. If obviously, if you see something that's wrong, or that you need to correct, or that you need to have immediate action, then you must take action for protection of those around you, or your family, or yourself. Obvious. But once
Okay.
that's taken care of, then to say this person is evil, that's a completely different story. Their actions may be evil, and you may address those actions, but then to address their soul by saying you are evil, that's a different story.
I see your point. I see. This is was not saying we are telling to a person that you are evil. This is talking about action, how I understood. But I see your point as well. Thank you, Richard. Patrick, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I mean, to me, right? And again, I am one of those people that believe that all people are good, regardless, regardless of their act. Basically, I separate the action and the person, right? Let's take Hitler, right? A lot of people think like Hitler is an evil guy, and I was like, well, that's an opinion. But if you say like, yeah, he killed a lot of people, yes, that is a bad thing, right? But again, him as an individual, right? That him as a person, right? Taught the world a lot about the world, about us, right? To me, that is something important, right? And as him as a person, right? Not his action, as a person, right? I don't, I can't say like, yeah, he's an evil person. And I agree with Richard that is a judgment for God, right? But for me to say, he's an evil person, yeah, is he power hungry? Is he all that other stuff? Yeah, is he a killer? Yes. Did he kill all those people? Yes, right? Those actions were evil, right? So that separation, I personally, I get in a lot of trouble when I say things like that, and I get a lot of angry people, telling me, oh, I was like, yeah, but I'm not God, and I'm taught that everyone has the, you know, the notion of goodness, right? That seed of goodness. And, you know, you look at a baby, right? You know, a baby doesn't go out like start punching people, right? Or breaking people, you know, apart, or biting them, right? I mean, so you know, but somehow that beautiful baby go through different phases and transform into something like a Hitler, whatever. And I think you had quoted, mentioned, quote, I quoted Lena in the past, where, you know, a person without practicing one thing, without the principles, right? You know, will become a Hitler, right? So and I think that's, you know,
Yes,
that's what
yes,
I
yes,
am.
was it? Yeah,
That's what I was, you know, talking about.
awesome, awesome. Brian, please.
I was just gonna say, for one thing, I absolutely love what Patrick said. I have to admit that's an incredibly well. I guess these days it seems to me to be an incredibly courageous thing to say. And I actually have to admit, I think that's I really agree with it actually. That
Awesome.
you know, the actions and everything are one thing, and I mean we can judge the actions, I guess, but you know, you should separate the actions from the person. I mean, does that mean you know, like the death penalty and all that are wrong? You know, that would be, I think that's a judgment maybe I can't make, but I mean, you know, there's a lot of reasons to be for and against it, but I guess the point would be is that, you know, that at a certain point you have to judge a person's actions for what they are. And, you know, a court of law can make that judgment, but that's just determining that that's just based on their actions, and maybe separating that from the person themselves. But I really like actually what Patrick said. I thought that was very insightful, to be honest with you. So
Wonderful, thank you. And I actually think that it's exactly what Richard meant. He meant what Patrick said, leave judgment to God. So we just, I personally understood that it's toward Jan what he wrote, but Richard meant higher, and like Patrick said. So Jan is saying, although I am not sure whether humans are basically good, I just can again just say my opinion, absolutely good. We are part of God. We are his cell. We are made in his image. So if a person doubt in what God is, then we can doubt about us. So we are inside. We are pure. We are wonderful. We are innocent. We are all that stuff what are God. We are God inside. But why we become that not good? Because with our bodies, material bodies, we are acquiring greediness, enviness, our ego, and it's considered like our pure soul inside, and we are covered with all of that. Like sun is shiny, but when it's behind the clouds, we don't see the shiny sun, but sun is still there. So this is our souls inside. We are covered with all that dust, and we don't see it. And whatever person start to practice spirituality, or even this ethical science, what we are doing, Mr. Cove, it's not exactly spirituality. It's based on spirituality, but still it's universal laws. It's some ethical theory, right? It's some psychology a lot here. We already become better. So the person is pointed on learning something good, he becomes better. Why? Because we all inside good. And the last thing, evil people act against each other on purpose. I don't really know. I think it's different reasons, but practically I think they are, because they need to act. how I said before, do you remember, we are just sharing who we are. If a kind person, can we say kind person act on purpose? No, kind person just act. And but because he is kind, he's sharing his kindness. And evil people, they need to act as well, and they are acting who they are. So it's not exactly the purpose, but who they are. And of course, it can be on purpose too, because good people can act on purpose as well. It's just not a definition that evil people only behind on purpose. No, they just behind, they behave who they are, and they behave on purpose and without purpose, and sharing who they are. Guys, any comments, any other addition?
I was just gonna say, this is when the the idea of the emotional bank account becomes important, right? You basically dole out what you have, right? If you have a bunch of loans, you leverage that, you dole it out, right? Then then you're basically hurting the other person, right? You're basically, hey, I'm forcing you to take my loans, right? Instead of like, hey, here is whatever that kindness or gentleness, whatever, right? You're giving other people, and that's more valuable than the other stuff.
Yes, Patrick, thank you so much. So guys, we don't have today Noel, and today we're supposed to discuss his mission statement. And because he's not here, I don't think so we have rights to discuss behind his back. So let's postpone, and hopefully he will be able to attend next time. What we discussed everything for today, and right now, congratulations, it's 5:30. We are on time. We are diplomats. So thank you so much for all your participations. I enjoyed tremendously all of your inputs. And next time we need to finish the paradigm of interdependence. Fantastic stuff. And I will try to start as soon as possible in order to finish. But today was all our job, and I just couldn't miss the joy discussing it with you. So thank you so much, and see you next Sunday at 4 p.m. Please participate in our chat. Whatever I will be able, I will try to answer again, but whatever it would be more not complicated, a more deep discussion, we will discuss it over here. Enjoy your week. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you.